Alright, gamers and gamerettes, welcome to my guide for leveling build Barbarian Vessel of Hatred, the expansion. This is a full Thorns Whirlwind. We are using the new key passive that utilizes Thorns. So we're using that as an active damage. It's just running through the mobs because it's like an aura, if you will. It just has a condition of, casting a skill with cooldown every 5 seconds because it's up for 5 seconds. And I think this will be one of the fastest build to level. Now this build does not have, in this footage I did not have gems. I had no tempers. The only tempers I had was actually on the armor with thorns plus. That's the only thing. I was still missing, like there is a temper that makes it so you get thorns while fortified. I did not have that because that will be absolute top notch. I was also using bats dual wield because normally I would just use the axes as dual wield because they buff damage over time, which Thorns is, and I believe it's also the new key passive because it tests like every second, so that's a damage over time, a dot aka. So we are using charge for mobility, and as a way to trigger the thorn, the key passive for Barbarian. Using Mighty Throw, amazing utility skill. That's the new skill for this class. It gives us attack speed once we throw it on the ground. It also is doing a dot damage over time every second for 4 seconds. And it also gives us barrier if we weapon swap. Well, we don't really weapon swap, to be honest. So, I mean, you can assign a weapon to a Mighty Throw and charge, like, the two-handers, because we're using dual wield for Whirlwind. So you could probably assign two-handers there to get barrier from Mighty Throw, which is not bad at all. And in general, we got also 2 shouts, one rallying cry for the resource so we can keep spinning. And we also are looking for 50 plus fury at all times to trigger new aspect called anger management. Or I mean, it's new already in CN5, but I don't think a lot of people are using it. But anger management, if you're above a certain fury, I believe mine was 50, you'll get triggered berserk for every 2 seconds or something like that. So that's what we are looking for as well. There is a passive Prolific Fury, which I also didn't have in this footage. With that, I could spin even more often, but it gives you fury generation if you're berserking, so that's very good. Call the Ancients for damage increase, attack speed increase, and the generation as well. And we are using the channeling thorns on the amulet. I wish I could put it on two-hander so it's stronger, but it's a utility aspect, so only on amulet. And my aspects were not maxed out at all. Like this build, it took me like, I don't know, like 3 hours to put this together, even with the temper, with the aspects and whatnot. And because I had access and a couple of other content creators for Vessel of Hatred review server. So yeah, that's what we got going. I also have a couple builds for Spiritborn, both leveling and endgame. You guys can check it out in the right upper corner. I'll have builds for Mercenaries. I will have the footage from the Dark Citadel, the raid. Undercity, which is the new content as well. You just name it. Lots of content here. We are able to publish this on 4th. So when you watch that, this is 4th. But I am recording this on the 1st, which is a day. Actually, it's day before the dev stream, and they will announce some big stuff. And I believe we are playing 1 patch behind on the server compared to a release server. So I think some numbers might be changed, but if that's so, I do my builds on Mobalytics, so the planner will be in the pinned comment section and whatnot. And if anything changes, anything, is different or upgrades, I will put it in the notes here. As you can see here, I can put notes, so don't worry, I got you covered. I'll get you guys going with that. Also, I will keep updating, trying to keep updating this once I get off the barb, because I will start as a Spiritborn. So yeah, I'll take you in the game though to take for the build and whatnot. So I'm over here in the den with the Mercenaries, and I'll show you what we're cooking with. So the first thing, we got the skill tree, 2 points, it doesn't matter, just to unlock Whirlwind, and we go with the Furious Whirlwind to apply bleed on the target, because bleed is also damage over time, so since we scaled that, why not? Pressure point to make them vulnerable. Lucky hit is not the highest on Whirlwind, so that's why we kind of want to get high attack speed as well, so you can trigger this. Extra passes for HP and damage reduction. Rallying Cry, the classic, Unstoppable, and Fierce Resource Generation. Main important passives here, Outburst. That's why we want to stack also Max Life. I'm also missing a lot of Max Life on this build, so there is that. And Tough as Nails, this is something you want to temper as well on your gear. I don't even have that, but this for endgame, it'll be amazing. Next up, Warcry for some berserking trigger and damage increase. We get Raid Leader for HP sustain and Booming Voice for duration shouts, movement speed since Whirlwind reduces that, damage reduction while berserking, and generation as we are non-stop berserking thanks to our aspect anger management over here. 52 mine is horrible range. Charge for Day nervous cooldown reduction, it used to be higher. I'll probably put the rest of the points and whatnot in the charge to reduce its cooldown. There's an issue with charge. If you use it on single target, you need to aim in front of the target, not on the body, because you will just miss it. It will not trigger the hit, which is just weird. It's been bugged since ages like that. We got Pitfighter maxed out. We got Exposed Vulnerability. This is just early on before you get enough like procs and whatnot. I also don't have like, you should get Lucky Hit Vulnerable on the jewelry with this similar affix. I don't have that, so I went with maxed out Expose because that will be triggered from Mighty Throw. This is for 3 seconds, and we can also temper this on the weapon, so you can make it actually non-stop uptime with this. So you can sacrifice, or you can actually you don't even need Lucky Hit Vulnerable, but it's up for testing. But Mighty Throw, extra dot, it gives us attack speed and barrier if we weapon swap. So I recommend assigning 200 weapon on Mighty Throw. You can do it by pressing S keybind. This pops up. You just hover over and you change it on the different weapons with middle mouse button. Not too sure how it is on consoles, so if anyone knows, hit me up in the comments. Counter offensive for the damage increase. We got full maxed out Call of the Ancients for cooldown reduction, and they also do pretty good damage early on. The scaling is pretty wild. Extra damage increase, attack speed here from them, and of course here's the generation. Also some CC, but not really that important. But Royal Middle for the result generation, attack speed with dual wield. This is a second cap. This does not go over the first cap, I believe. And Bard Carapace, that's the new key passive for Barbarian. Every Fury is spent, which actually Whirlwind is 25 Fury, so this is amazing. Just, you can tap it. If you have a lot of resource at the time, you can just keep tapping Whirlwind and proc this 12 times, no problem, because that's the cap. Back on PTR, you could channel with Whirlwind thanks to this aspect until unlimited infinite number on Thorns here. So you were able to literally reach infinite number damage, which is crazy. But they capped it out at 12 times, I believe. That's what was happening before. That's what we didn't have before. And when you cast a skill with cooldown grants you unhindered, that means during this time you deal 100% of your thorns as physical damage to close enemies every second. To me, that reads like damage over time scaling, but I'm not too sure. Probably putting like something like close enemies damage would be better as a temper, but yeah, we'll see what we will put, you know, what will scale the most out of like damage tempers and whatnot with this setup. I don't have Paragon yet because I haven't finished leveling, but I will keep this updated once I get after Barb, because I will be playing this build, so don't worry. On the consumables, you definitely want Iron Barb's Potion. Gives you armor, but mainly Thorns, 250. There is also a Thorns right here, Incense. It's type 2 Incense. There are 3 types. So 250 is also amazing. That's 500 Thorns right here, which gets amplified by percentage on Tough as Nails, which you can also temper, so you can reach some insane numbers. I believe you can reach like 20 ranks in Tough as Nails in endgame, which is crazy. Or hopefully, I hope they will not remove that thing, because that makes very enjoyable Thorns. On the gems, you want to go with purples here, damage over time. On the armor, you want to go with HP, since we scale with HP. And there is one rune that's very good while leveling. Since we scale with damage over time, might as well just go with Earthquake rune for Barbarian. It's a blue rune, so I reckon this will be easy to get. And I just went with Traveling. Traveling 10 meters will trigger Earthquake. Since we move around a lot and Whirlwind, even on single target, you can just Whirlwind around the target like this, right? And that will just keep spawning Earthquake. So that's a pretty good tech. You can go with a different generator, but I don't have it on this character right now. It was very bad with resources on this server, so I could not even fully test what I wanted. I tested Spiritborn. I couldn't even max that one out because, you know, the material situation was horrible. This is fixed though for the release, so don't worry. Don't worry. So anyways, for the headpiece, we go with Disobedience to just hit easier the cap. Not really needed right now, but in Torment 1 and Torment Tears, once it's through, then you will need the armor. Also, the footage was shown in normal, but I tried it Penitent. It's the same situation, just one tap everything, except the bosses, obviously, because it's 3 difficulties higher. But there is like, especially early on, until level like 40, maybe even 50, there is no benefit to running higher tier. because yes, you get more XP and gold, but it's just not good enough to, you know, just pump that. Normal is just more efficient. On the chest piece, also we want to go with Thorns as an affix and as a temper wherever you can. So we got 4 pieces here with Thorns temper and 3 pieces here with affix Thorns. On the chest piece, we go with Iron Blood, since we bleed a lot through Tough as Nails. Once again, if ranged enemies hit you, they will get bleeding from Tough as Nails, and Whirlwind does bleed as well, so some extra damage reduction, not bad. On the gloves, so we want to go with Whirlwind pulling mobs together. That crit damage is useless because we cannot crit with the setup. There's a huge stat squish as well, so the items gain some more power at level 50, but mainly at level past level 51, I believe, or what are the high items? I think these are, I think item power 650 plus gives you a lot more stats on the item compared to the, like you can see the strength on these items is actually doubled, right? It's pretty crazy. So 100 item power difference. On the pants, we want to go with Numbing Wrath. This is our 45 generator for leveling. All resistance, Thorns again on the pants. On the boots, I like to go with Slaughter. This is pretty good for mobility and movement speed. Pretty zoomy until you take damage, but it's only like for like 2 seconds if you have the highest roll, so that's all good. Fury per second, I slapped it on 2 of these pieces. This is very important as well, so you can keep, you know, auto-triggering the anger management over here on the X. So double axes here, the other one has Death Wish. I should probably put this on two-hander. Yeah, I would probably do that at the end. Put this on the two-hander and put accelerating on the one-hander. This is the attack speed on the X I have. And you can see some of these items, this is like a upgraded rare actually. So I'm missing HP here. I'm missing HP here as well for Tough as Nails. Thorn scaling. Here we go with Needle Flare. I really recommend putting this on 200 for high percent to trigger this. Some very good stuff. On the rings we go with Bold Chieftain. They kind of changed this aspect. Kind of interesting. I'm not sure if I really like this though. Well, we'll see. I kind of like the flat second reduction rather than percentage, because this is going to cap out eventually. So I'm not sure, like I have a build from season 5 where you were just attacking with shouts. The shouts would trigger dust devils and they will trigger bleed, berserk ripping. And with Bold Chieftain you could use it non-stop, so I'm not sure this will be possible anymore. I don't think so. We are screwed. God damn. Anyway, crit chance, useless, don't need that. Resistances, good stuff. Again, missing HP here. On the other ring we got the generation primary resource from shouts. Attack speed, damage, strength, not bad. Missing HP again. And amulet, just random slam together. Strength, movement speed, total armor. Honestly, I'm gonna put life on every single item I can and just roll with it and see how far we can go with scaling. You know what's funny? My Thorns in combat on this level, without any Paragon glyphs, anything like that, or any tempers, any good items, low level items, is actually the same Thorns number as I got my main Spiritborn. That's already hitting Torment 4 endgame. Pretty crazy. So this was the gear. Rotation, you wanna buff yourself up with shouts. Actually, not both at the same time. I would rotate the cooldowns as much as you can, not popping them all at once, otherwise you would lose damage. We are mainly looking for this uptime the most. So yeah, you wanna use them, you know, not at the same time, just rotate them. Mighty Throw, once again, good for attack speed and overall. This does also pretty good damage on the dot. So I will probably try to find a way how to max this one out, putting points in it. Honestly, maybe even from attack speed we could put it here. It's honestly up to you. I feel like attack speed can keep it in duelist, but the damage is actually pretty good here from the pulse. So there's also a good aspect for this skill. I don't have it though right now on me. I mean, imprinted. It gives us. I don't even have the. I'm pretty sure I did have this aspect. Whatever. It deals more damage, but I'm not sure if they should also increase the dot damage, but it also has like hurls, another 2 weapons, good for AoE, probably pretty good in the end game as well for like hordes and whatnot, so could be pretty worth. You could also play, that is a different build though, Walking Arsenal is not for Thorns. I have a different build by the way, for Barb, if I haven't mentioned it, because I do these takes for, you know, in quite a lot of takes. I have a leveling build for Barb as well in the right upper corner, and I use Walking Arsenal with Hammer of the Ancients and Charge. Just like this skill in overall in general. But I believe we covered everything. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comment section or on stream. I stream every day on Twitch and YouTube, so I would like to see you guys there. If not, good luck with the launch setup, and I'll also be streaming a lot more footage from October 4th, which is 4 days or 3 days before expansion. so you guys can get some experience or like, yeah, firsthand from the expansion. Anyways, enough of rambling. Have a great one. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time. Peace out.